What is going on? Jen Johnson here, and I'm super excited because today we are talking about one of my favorite organizational tools of all time. It's called Trello. If you haven't heard of it, you might be living under a rock. So this is where I'm actually going to be sharing my screen, showing you step by step how and why the heck you need to be using Trello. I have to say I've been using this platform for a while now, and I can tell you in all honesty, I don't know how I lived without it. It is absolutely a phenomenal way to stay organized, to get intentional, to stay focused on your goals, and really just create a custom vision of what your business should look like, how you should be running it, and what types of actions you should be taking on a daily basis to really move your business forward step by step. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing that you're going to want to do is head over to Trello.com, and you're going to want to sign up for a free account. Yes, it's free. This is the best part. So you're going to click sign up, put in your name and all your information to create an account. As you can see, I do already have one, so I'm going to go ahead and log in and show you what that looks like. So when you come inside, you're actually going to see a lot of different boards here, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed because you do not need to create so many boards, especially when you're first getting started. I highly encourage you not to do that. And I'm going to explain to you what a board is and how it works and show you how it operates. But this is the main screen that you're going to see, and you're just going to pretty much see solid colors. You're not going to see any custom backgrounds or anything like that. And you're going to want to create a new board. And so when you create a new board, you're going to want to give it a title. So let's just say, for the sake of this video and me showing you how Trello works, we're just going to do a Trello test board. And you can actually from here choose a frame of what your background can be, but you can actually customize that once you get inside the board. Now, one of the really cool things about Trello is that if you are outsourcing or if you have a team that you're working with and you want to share a board with a team, you can actually create teams and allow people to see certain aspects of the board, all of the board. It's totally up to you how you want to manage that. It's a little more advanced. I'm just going to really be teaching you the basics today so you can start to get your feet wet with this platform. And from that point, though, here we're just going to keep it private. We're not going to work on the teams at the moment, and we're just going to create that board. Now, once we create the board, it actually chose that background. And immediately, because I'm such a visual, you can always go in and change the background if you want to do a solid color. This is pretty much the hub over here where it says show menu, where you can actually come in and make some changes and adjustments. So you would go to the change background, and then here you can actually pick some different little visuals for each of your boards so they're easy to identify. So let's go ahead. I prefer something darker. It's actually easier to read what you have going on once you start creating your board if you have a darker background. So we can just go with this for now. And actually I'm going to change it because it's a little hard to read at the moment. So let's just go to blue here for a second. So just so you know, that's how you can change your backgrounds. But what we're going to do is up here, you can actually rename your board. So whatever you want to call this board is totally up to you. Today, we're just going to call this the Trello test board. So that way you can get an idea of how it functions and how it works. Okay. So when you create a board, you can really create a board for anything. It could be, maybe you want to work with your team inside of a board or certain leaders in your team inside of a board, or you want to map out your vision for the year, or you want to map out what your week is going to be like. Maybe you want to do some meal planning and you want to really plan out meals. Me and my husband actually share a Trello board so we can create grocery lists and house projects. There's the sky's the limit with how you can use Trello. So I suggest just really playing with it, and in areas you feel like you need to organize your life, make a board for it. That's all I gotta say about that. So here you're gonna go ahead and create the name of your board, and from there, the second phase to creating your board is actually creating a list. So you can create multiple lists inside of your board, which is totally awesome. So let's say for the sake of this actual board, we're just going to call this your to-do list. we're going to have your to-do list, and see how it's going to allow you to make another board. So you can do your to-do list, you could do your goals, you can do your follow-ups. If you're in business, you're following up with your clients or your prospects. You could do your meals for the day if you want to focus on, eating healthy and things like that. You can put something like that on there. So you can really start to customize what you want your day to look like or your week to look like, if you're going to be doing this as this is what your goals are for the week kind of thing. So these are how you create lists. You just keep going across the page and it's going to create all these different lists for you. So it's going to break down the actual different projects or the different goals that you have. You can really kind of space them out to put them into different categories per se. These are kind of like your categories, right? And then the next feature is you can actually add cards. Now, cards help you break down those categories into really bite-sized chunks so you can start to really dive into whatever you created that list for. So if I have a to-do list, maybe I need to write an email. And I need to, let's say I need to shoot a live video. Go live, right? And let's say I need to have a team meeting. So I can start really breaking down what my to-dos look like by creating these cards. If I have a goal, I want to hit, next rank, whatever that looks like. If I want to present to 5 people today. If I need to, whatever your goals are, you can start to create those goals and add those cards here. Obviously, your follow-ups, if you have specific people you need to follow up with in your business or on your team, you can start to put those names here. I'm just going to name some people that I know off the top of my head, and you can start to really make that list. So now you're starting to kind of see like this is what my week looks like. And the really cool thing about Trello is that there's an app for it as well. So you can download it onto your phone, and whatever you're doing on your computer, you can it will sync immediately with the app on your phone, which is so awesome because now your planner goes with you everywhere and it's really easy to add to it on the go or, make changes and all that kind of stuff. So you would just kind of go down the list, add your cards if you wanted to do, bacon and eggs, I don't know, whatever you want to eat, a salad for lunch, or you could do like a reminder to drink more water. That's something that I need to do. Drink more water. And so you can add all these little things here. And now what's really cool, so this is going to be the next step to Trello, is that there is actual customization inside of the cards themselves. So you can actually click on this little pencil, and that would take you here to, do a couple of different functions, which are like, you can create labels, which is really cool. So say I wanted this to be, my done label. So once I've done something, I can label it blue if it's in progress. Like I use purple for in progress on my actual boards. So if I wanted to be in progress, this could be urgent. If I have something that really needs to get done, I can label that urgent. You can label however you want to label it. It's totally up to you. You could label it, yellow for content or orange for to do. It's totally up to you how you want to label it, whatever you want to call it. And that's where there's no hard limits. With Trello, the sky's the limit. It's totally, however you want to customize it. So these are just to give you some ideas. So let's say, it's urgent that I write an email. And let's say I needed to, make sure I shoot a live video. Let's say I already did that. So that's done. And if I want to, if I need to do maybe my team meeting, that's, I'm starting that. So it's in progress. So those are some examples of how you can actually add some labels, and you can add multiple labels to one card, which is really cool as well. The other cool thing is you can copy cards if you wanted to just copy the same thing. Maybe you want to move that, to another area. You can change members if you wanted to add members. You can also customize the due date, which I don't really focus so much here on doing all of that. I actually just click on the card itself. And then in here, it really lets me do all of that as well. So let's dive into this actual card where we're writing an email. If I wanted to really map out what my email was going to look like, I could actually do that in a few different ways. So let's first go over here to the bells and whistles of how these cards can really be customized. So you can actually add members. If you wanted to go ahead and add members from your team, you can create different teams inside of Trello, and you can also add members to specific cards if they have specific tasks. This is good for something if you're outsourcing or working with a team of people who each have different tasks that they need to actually focus on. You can actually add those members to specific cards so they know where their focus should be. And then there's actually labels, as I had mentioned, so you can actually create your labels here. And one of my favorite things is creating a checklist. I love checklists for specific tasks that I need, because a lot of times there's a task that requires multiple things that need to get done. So this really helps you just chuck away at little bite-sized action items. So let's say, for example, if you're writing an email, you're going to need a subject line, you're going to need a topic, you're going to need the actual content inside of there, and then you're going to need a call to action. So that is something that you could really map out, and then inside of the description you could start mapping that out there. So you could put your subject and start writing the piece and really just copy and paste everything over, which is really cool. Another way that I use this is when I'm creating my actual Facebook Lives. I'll come in and put the title here, and I'll put in my description here, of all like my notes and everything that I want. And then I save that. And then what's cool is that later when I'm ready to do my live, I can come in here, I can copy and paste this into a Word document, print it out, and be ready to go with my notes. So that's something that's really cool as well. Now you can also put due dates if there's specific appointments that you have and there's specific, deadlines that you need to meet. You can always create a due date, which is really cool as well. So you just come in here, click, put the time, hit save, and you're done. And then you can actually see that it's due on May 9th. And then if you see, what's really cool is that, say today was the due date, it would actually note it in red for you. So it's like, hello, it's due, let's get it done. So it's a really cool accountability tool. And from there, if you do the due date a little bit prior, it kind of highlights it a little. Oh, it'll say it's past due now. So if I put that it is, let's say it's due tomorrow. Wait, no, that's not tomorrow. Where are we at? We're already in May. So if I put that it's due on that day, it'll be in yellow. It'll let you know, hey, this is due soon. So it's really cool that it customizes in that way for you. And then what's really cool too is that you can do attachments. So if you're working, again, if you're outsourcing or working with a team and you want to, a lot of times with my clients, I'm uploading documents and checklists and things that they need. So I can always create an attachment in here. And if we're sharing the board together, they can see everything that's being uploaded. They can download it. It's a really, really cool feature to have. And then you can also move things if you wanted to move, maybe I wanted to move this actual list to a different board or to a different space, a different position and things like that. You can always move it here. And you can always copy boards. Now, I copy boards a lot because with my clients, I always use the same Trello template. So I'm always copying like the templated board that I created for a new client. So that way we can go in there and start piecing all their stuff together, which is cool. And then you can always archive and do all that as well. Watch, I believe it's just something, watch the card to get notifications when something changes. So if you're basically, again, working with a team or something like that where, I don't really use this function very often. So if people actually were working together with you, you can actually see when things are getting done, which is really cool if you have a VA or a team that you're working with. So the other cool thing is that these can actually just be moved. So, if you want to move them down the ranks for whatever reason, if you're creating some sort of like assembly line or, you're working, if you're dealing with prospects and things like that, it's pretty cool because you could say, hey, I talked to this person. Oh, now I need to follow up with them or now I need to do this. And you can kind of move these cards around, which makes it really user friendly. And again, you can also do this from the phone app as well. So this is really the basics of how Trello functions. There is a lot more that you can really get in depth with the team building and adding the people. But I think right now it's just really important that you understand the importance of using Trello for yourself, getting a free account set up, coming in here and really getting familiar with the platform and thinking about, how you want to best use it to really get organized and take the vision that you have in mind for your business and really map it out so you can see it. You can really have the visual in front of you so you can know exactly what steps you need to be taking next, which makes this so awesome. And it's something that I use all the time in my business. Just to give you some ideas of some boards here, I use it for my vision and goals. I use it for book notes. I use it for my monthly content calendar. I use it for prospecting. I use it for course training. I use it to really keep track of my prospects or my leads and things like that. I have a swipe file. Any post ideas that I come up with, I'm always adding new post ideas here. So that way, if I ever just, need some inspiration, I can draw from this board. It's really, really cool. So these are, and then again, like my coaching clients and things like that. It's really, really awesome. So I hope that this helps you out. I want to get you playing with it. So definitely scroll to the bottom of this page. You're going to see 3 Trello template workflows. This is just another additional video training that I created where I'm going to give you 3 different ideas to help you get up and running with creating some boards that I think would be most valuable for you when getting started on Trello to help you get a running start. And of course, there's always additional resources at the very bottom of my vlog post to really give you more tools and resources to take more and more steps inside of your business to create that success that you're looking for. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will definitely catch you on the flip side.